Welcome back. Well, this is another video on the remaining concepts and notions. So, the first one here is suggestions. Concept of suggestion. What about going to a movie tonight? Now, this is suggestion. Here, the person is suggesting to go to a movie tonight. What about going to a movie tonight? क्या ख्याल है आज रात मूवी जाने के बारे में क्यों ना आज फिल्म देखी जाए What about going to a movie? This means shall we go to a movie tonight? How about going to a movie tonight? Means there are different ways of saying. You can say it the way you like. So they all suggest suggestions. Let us have our dinner out today. चलो आज खाना बाहर खाते हैं. Let us have our dinner out today. चलो आज खाना बाहर खाते हैं. Again, this is suggestion. This is mashwara, salah. I don't think you should sell your house. I don't think. Here the speaker is saying to the listener, you should not sell your house. I don't think you should sell your house. मेरा नहीं ख्याल तुम्हें अपना घर बेचना चाहिए. मेरा नहीं ख्याल तुम्हें अपना घर बेचना चाहिए. The speaker is suggesting him not to sell his house. Let us have some cold coffee. थोड़ी कोल्ड कॉफी लेते हैं कुछ कोल्ड कॉफी लेते हैं Let's have some cold coffee. Let us have cold coffee. Let us get some eggs and butter for breakfast tomorrow. Let us get some eggs and butter for breakfast tomorrow. कल नाश्ते के लिए कुछ eggs और butter ले लेते हैं. Why don't you take a hot bath and relax? Now the person is tired, okay, came after a long journey or a long walk. So the speaker is suggesting him to take a hot bath and relax. Why don't you take a hot bath and relax? तुम जो है गर्म पानी से नहा क्यों नहीं लेते हो आराम क्यों नहीं कर लेते हो Here the person is suggesting. Take this book to read along the journey. Since you are going away, you are going on a journey, so take this book to read along the journey. रास्ते में पढ़ने के लिए किताब रख लो. रास्ते में पढ़ने के लिए किताब रख लो. What is it? This is suggestion. So that you can read along the journey. Take this book to read along the journey. You might write one more article. You might write one more article. Now this is suggestion. Again, you might write one. You already written one article. Okay. You might write one more article. आप एक article और लिख सकते हैं. Means the person is contributing for some journal or some say book or some magazine. So the person is asking him to write one more article. You might contribute one more article. This again is a suggestion. You can use the knife and fork if you like. Okay. अगर आप चाहें तो आप जो है knife और fork इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. Okay. People are sitting there at the dining table and here the speaker is suggesting and the listener or the guest, you may say, you can use a knife and fork if you like. आप knife or fork इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. Means if you are not very comfortable using your hand or eating with your hand, you can use the knife and fork if you like. So this is suggestion. Dear students, most of the time we use should. Since that's a very common model that we use for suggestion, that is why I have not made so many sentences, and that is very easy to guess also. Whenever you should go to Bombay, you should have a light meal, or you should go for a morning walk every day. So whenever you should work hard, they all suggest suggestions. Okay, whenever you have should, the model should, okay, then that would denote suggestion. So that's very obvious, that's very understood. That's why I have not made very many sentences on it like the previous ones. Okay, let us move on to the next concept. Next slide. This is determination. Determination also is very easy to guess. Determination means yes, from decision, yes, और दृढ़ संकल्प, पक्का इरादा जो होता है उसको क्या कहते हैं हम determination कहते हैं. I'm determined to do as I like. I'm determined to do means I am firm. I'm very sure what to do and what not to do. I'm determined to do as I like. So this is दृढ़ संकल्प. मेरा पक्का इरादा है मुझे क्या करना चाहिए. ठीक है. We are determined not to give in. we are determined, we are very firm not to give in. यानी हम सरेंडर नहीं करेंगे, हम हारेंगे नहीं, हम झुकेंगे नहीं. गिव इन, हिम्मत नहीं हारेंगे, झुकेंगे नहीं. We are determined not to give in. He will achieve his goals. Determination, will is there. He will achieve his goals. वो अपने जो goals हैं, aims हैं, जो उसके वो उनको हासिल करेगा, attain करेगा. He will achieve his goals. They shall win the match. वो जो है मैच जीत जाएंगे. They will win the match. They shall win the match. I will do what I like. I will do what I like. This is determination. Means I will not do what you say, but I will do what I like. I will win the first prize. पक्का इरादा है. I have worked very hard, and so I will win the first prize. मुझको पहला प्राइज मिलेगा. This is determination. I will be able to do it in no time. मैं बहुत जल्दी ये काम खत्म कर लूँगा. I will be able to do it in no time. I will do as I like. मेरी मर्जी है ना. I will do. I will do as I like. जैसा मैं चाहूँगा वैसा करूँगा. जैसा मैं चाहूँगा वैसा करूँगा. I will do as I like. Will not give in. हम जो है झुकेंगे नहीं, हार नहीं मानेंगे. Okay, we will not give in. I will succeed or die in the attempt, but I will fight till the end. चाहे मैं जीतूं या मरूं इस अटेम्प्ट में, but I will fight till the end. लेकिन मैं आखिर तक जो है फाइट करता रहूंगा, स्ट्रगल करता रहूंगा. ठीक है. I will not give in. This means I'll continue fighting. This is determination, दृढ़ संकल्प. I'll never visit his place again. Means the person has insulted, and that is why the speaker is saying here, I'll never visit his place again. मैं दोबारा उसके यहाँ कभी नहीं जाऊँगा. मैं कभी नहीं जाऊँगा दोबारा उसके यहाँ. The person seems to be very annoyed. That's why he's saying, means he is determined. Okay, he has taken a decision, a firm decision, that he will never visit his place again. They shall go where I want them to. वो वहाँ जाएंगे जहाँ मैं उनसे कहूँगा. This is a kind of, again, order kind of thing. They shall go where I want them to. जहाँ मैं कहूँगा वो वहाँ जाएंगे. So determine. This can go in orders also. The last sentence, okay? They shall go where I want them to. As I told you, my dear students, wherever you have confusion, wherever you think that there is a kind of overlapping, so go for the obvious concept. And if you still think that the concept is not obvious, it's very ambiguous, it's not clear, they are just 50% chances, then you just omit it. If there is a choice, then omit it, or else you go with a stronger concept. And if one has already occurred, if there was already one statement of determination, then you can go obviously for order. Then the next one means they should go where I want them to. So this can be under command also. This can be under order also. Command and order, one and the same thing. Okay. Now this is wish. Wish. What is wish? Wish is yes, wish. Yes, ख्वाहिश, इच्छा, चाहत, wish. Yes. I wish you would come with us. मेरी ख्वाहिश थी, मेरी इच्छा थी कि तुम हमारे साथ चलते. I wish you would come with us. Would that he were here. कितना अच्छा होता कि वो यहाँ होता. काश वो यहाँ होता. Would that he were here. This is wish. May you succeed. Whenever you have may, that means wish that you succeed. May you succeed means it's a kind of prayer also. Prayer. You are in a way praying, the Almighty, that may you succeed. And ईश्वर करे कि तुम जीत जाओ, तुम सफल हो जाओ. May you have a happy and long life. ईश्वर करे कि तुम्हारी खुशहाल और लंबी जिंदगी हो. May God bless you. ईश्वर तुमको bless करे. Long may you live to see the joys of your grandchildren. Long may you live to see. Again, it's a kind of wish. The person is having a kind of prayer kind of thing. Okay, long may you live to see the joys of children. आपकी उम्र लंबी हो कि आप अपने जो है grandchildren की खुशियां देखें, उनके joys देखें. May fortune smile upon you. Okay, so may you have good time. May God always be with you. So what do you have in these sentences? You have may. Okay, that's very clear. Even if you do not have may, you will have wish or some other word. Means it is very easy. It's identifiable, easily identifiable. I mean, may God always be with you. May you have a good time. May you stay blessed always. This, you're also writing, your parents are saying to you, your teachers are saying to you, and now at the moment I'm saying it to you, all the students who are listening to me. Okay, may you stay blessed always. Okay, may you have a good time. I'm saying all these, this is my wish for all of you out there who are watching me, okay, watching the video. May you have a good time. May you stay blessed. May you secure good marks in your exam. May you succeed in your life. May, the God shower upon you the choicest blessings. May you attain everything that you're looking forward to. So these are all my blessings for you, my dear students. I wish I were rich. Now this is a wish. काश मेरी तमन्ना थी कि मैं मालदार होता, okay, rich होता. I wish I could help you. काश मैं तुम्हारी मदद कर सकता. I wish means काश. I wish I could help you. I wish you would be here. May God bless you. I would rather have a coffee than milk. This is again a wish, I would rather have a coffee than milk. So you can have sentence like rather also, rather in a sentence. If you have rather, then it also shows your preference, your choice, your wish. I would rather have a coffee than milk. मैं दूध की बनिस्बत जो है कॉफी लेना पसंद करूंगा. I would rather have a coffee than tea. Okay. I want to come with you. मैं तुम्हारे साथ आना चाहता हूँ. This is wish. That means I wish to come with you. If only I had known. काश मुझे मालूम होता. If only. So you can have if also. If only I had known. काश मुझे मालूम होता. Now you know. Yeah, this is something very. I must tell you about this sentence, the last one. Okay, dear students, focus on it now. Since I was talking about overlapping, so the sentence begins with if. Okay, and when sentences begin with if, you have condition there. Okay, here there is a condition. If only I had known. है ना, अगर मुझे पता होता, काश मुझे मालूम होता. This condition, no doubt, but wish is stronger here. Okay, condition is not as strong as wish is, so you will go with wish. Okay, if you get a sentence like this in exam, if only I had known, so do wish. Right, means write wish in the bracket instead of condition. And if they had already occurred one sentence with wish, then you can obviously go for condition, because usually examiners do not give, or the paper setters, I must say, do not give two sentences on the same concept. They do not. Suppose they give you 5 sentences, then all sentences will have a different concept. So they will not be a repetition of. So this you can guess. So this depends on your smartness also. Okay, you should be able to know. So if there is overlapping and all sentences appear to be wish, so you shouldn't write wish in all the sentences. No, that would be very stupid of you. You know that one sentence with wish has already occurred, and this here you have condition also, so you go with condition. But here I must tell you that wish is more obvious here in this. Right? Thank you. Let's move on to the next slide. Intention. What is intention? Irada. Okay. I intend to spend 8 hours on my studies. मेरा इरादा है 8 घंटे रोज पढ़ाई करने का, रोज पढ़ने का. ठीक है. I intend to. Intent is there. Intent is the first form of intention. This is verb. This is noun. Intention. I intend to spend 8 hours on my studies. Did she really mean to hurt my feelings? क्या वाकई उसका इरादा था मेरी फीलिंग्स को हर्ट करने का? क्या उसका इरादा था वाकई मेरी फीलिंग्स को हर्ट करने का? तो दिस इज इंटेंशन. आई एम गोइंग टू बिल्ड हाउस. मैं घर बनाने वाला हूँ, जाने वाला हूँ, खाने वाला हूँ, पीने वाला हूँ. Whenever you have such words, then you know that this is intention. And dear students, I would suggest again something very important to you. You just translate it in your own mother tongue. You have a sentence here, okay? Like I'm going to build a house. Translate it in your mother tongue. If you think that this denotes irada or intention, then go for that notion, that concept. Where are you planning to organize the wedding anniversary? कहाँ organize करने का इरादा है आपका? कहाँ प्लानिंग किया आपने वेडिंग एनिवर्सरी ऑर्गेनाइज करने की? किस होटल में? Okay, so this is planning. Whenever you have word planning, plan, intention, intent, going to, so all these words they denote intention. Shall you be going to the party? क्या आपका इरादा है पार्टी जाने का? Shall you be going to the party? Will you be going to the party? Okay, so this shows intention. They are to be married in December this year. उनका इरादा, दे आर टू बी मीन्स उनका इरादा है कब का? दिसंबर में शादी करने का. वी आर प्लानिंग टू विजिट योर होम समडे. हम किसी दिन इरादा कर रहे हैं तुम्हारे घर आने का. ओके, वी आर प्लानिंग टू विजिट योर होम समडे. आई एम सीइंग माय बॉस इन द इवनिंग. आज बॉस से मुझे शाम में मिलने का इरादा है मेरा. ओके, आई एम सीइंग माय बॉस. आज मैं बॉस से मिल रहा हूँ अपने इन द इवनिंग. ओके, so this is my intention, my plan. My plan is to see my boss in the evening. Alman's father is going to buy him a new mobile. Okay, so this is the intention of Alman's father, to buy him a new mobile. We intend to spend our summer holidays at Ooty. What is our plan? What is our intention? What are we going to do for summer holidays? We intend to spend summer holidays at Ooty. Okay, the hill station. Okay, my brother intends to start a new business. This is the intention of my brother. What is his intention? His intention is to start a new business. The government intends to vaccinate all citizens above 18. 18 साल की उम्र के जितने भी लोग हैं, सारे के सारे नागरिक, उनको वैक्सीनेट करने का इरादा है. यानी जो these days what the government is doing? Government is trying to give or vaccinate corona vaccine. So the government intends to vaccinate all citizens above 18. She is planning to go to London for higher studies. अच्छा, हायर स्टडीज के लिए उसको कहाँ जाने का इरादा है? लंदन जाने का इरादा है. शी इज प्लानिंग मीन्स शी इंटेंड्स टू गो टू लंदन फॉर हायर स्टडीज. आई शैल गो टू हिज पार्टी. मेरा उसकी पार्टी में जाने का इरादा है. Means I intend to go to his party. I want to go to his party. I'll be going to his party. Means you can say same thing in a different way. Okay, or there are different ways of saying the same thing. This depends, and this will all show your intention. I shall go to his party. I'm planning to buy a new car. I intend to buy a new car. I'm going to buy a new car. They all suggest intention. All these sentences. Again, this concept is very easy to identify, so you will not have any problem in identifying if you get a sentence with this concept of intention. Okay, shall we move on to the next one? Okay, thank you. This is permission. Permission means permission. Yes. कभी-कभी English words have become so common that we do not use any other word. Permission. जी, आज्ञा. Okay, permission is आज्ञा. You may go now. तुम जा सकते हो. May I come in, sir? क्या मैं अंदर आ सकता हूँ? May I go now? क्या मैं जा सकता हूँ? May I go out? क्या मैं बाहर जा सकता हूँ? May I come in? क्या मैं अंदर आ सकता हूँ? These are, this is something very easy. Okay, you can very well guess. This is permission here. He may not go now. वो अभी नहीं जा सकता. So he is not permitted to go. He is not allowed to go. Permission. इजाजत. That's what. Okay, आज्ञा, इजाजत. Members may not borrow from the library more than 2 books at a time. Members may not borrow from the library more than 2 books at a time. जो members हैं, लाइब्रेरी के members, उनको एक बार में 2 से ज़्यादा किताबें borrow करने का इख्तियार नहीं है. Okay, permission नहीं है. They are not allowed to. Okay. He might enter college next year. He might enter. Miss इस साल तो नहीं, अगले साल उसको परमिशन है कि वो कॉलेज ज्वाइन कर सकता है. कॉलेज नेक्स्ट ईयर. He might enter college next year. Okay. Might I go to see my mother? Might I go to see my mother? Okay, now this is permission. Here the speaker is seeking permission. Might I go to see my mother? क्या मैं अपनी माँ को देखने जा सकता हूँ? माँ से मिलने जा सकता हूँ? And might I be allowed? You use might when you are not certain whether you would be given permission or not. Whenever you are doubtful of getting permission, okay, then you use might. Might I go to see my mother? Means there's so much of work. Your boss might not allow you. That's why you're saying might I go to see my mother? This is, you're making a request also, a very polite request, and you are not very sure whether you would be allowed or not. So here, you have request as well as permission. Might I go to see my mother? Might I start my presentation? Might I start? May I start? This is permission. You are seeking permission. So here there is a subtle difference between permission and request here. Okay. Will you allow me to use your telephone? Will you allow me to use? Here the speaker is seeking permission to use his or her telephone. Will you allow me to use your telephone? Do you mind if I use your telephone? Okay, now here again he is seeking permission. Do you mind if I use your telephone? Might I use your telephone? So permission is, close to request. Okay, so there's a kind of overlapping in the last 4 sentences here. More the last 5 sentences here. Yeah, that's very obvious. You have overlapping in these concepts. Prohibition. Okay, prohibition means nishedh. Okay, when you are forbidden to do something, then we say you are prohibited. Okay, prohibited, nishedh, यानी मना है, आपको किसी चीज की मनादी है. You must not smoke in public places. Okay, means you are not allowed to, you are not permitted to. This is forbidden. You must not smoke in public places. I forbid you to use my car. है ना, मैंने मेरी तरफ से तुमको और मना दी है कि तुम मेरी कार इस्तेमाल करो. You are not allowed to use my car. That means cars must not be parked in front of the gate. You must have seen कुछ घरों के बाहर लिखा रहता है no parking. तो cars must not be parked in front of the gate. Cars must not be parked in the side lane. Side lane में गाड़ी मत खड़े कीजिए. गेट के बाहर गाड़ी ना लगाएं. Okay, these are prohibition. Second class passengers are forbidden to use the first class waiting room. Now, first class waiting room is meant only for the first class passengers. So, second class passengers are forbidden. They are not allowed to use the first class waiting room. No smoking. Now, this is prohibition. No parking is prohibition. Trespassers are not allowed. आम लोगों को इजाजत नहीं है यहाँ से जाने की. Trespassers are not allowed. It is forbidden to park on the grass. It is forbidden to park on the grass. Okay, ये घास जो लगाई गई है पार्क में, तो यहाँ पे आप जो है it's forbidden to park on the grass. तो आप यहाँ पार्क नहीं कर सकते. Okay, I forbid you to use my laptop. Okay, I do not allow you, I do not permit you to use my laptop. You are not supposed to use my laptop. Okay, you are forbidden. Parking is strictly prohibited between these gates. इन गेट्स के बीच में आपको गाड़ी नहीं पार्क करनी है. तो parking is strictly prohibited. The strong prohibition is strict prohibition. You cannot attend the meeting without a tie. In some parties or some meetings and all, you have to be in suit and all, and women should also be formally dressed up. So sometimes they do not allow you without a tie. And so there are some functions in colleges and universities where you ought to be there in a suit, right? You have to have a tie. You are not allowed to attend. Like for example, convocation ceremony. Convocation ceremony, everybody has to be in a tie or in a suit. If you are not, you look odd man out. Okay, nobody would say okay you are not supposed to come, but you would look odd man out. So you cannot attend the meeting without a tie. No firearms are allowed inside the mall. No firearms are allowed inside the mall. ये लिखा रहता है malls पे. You must have seen. You must not use your phone inside the class. You must not use your phone inside the class. Okay, you are not allowed to use your phone inside the class. Sometimes students just listen to their phones, or I don't know, like watch games or what, while teachers are teaching them. So that's why the teacher is saying you must not use your phone inside the class. This prohibition. The phones are prohibited. They are forbidden inside the class. You are forbidden to drive a car unless you are over 18. You are forbidden to drive a car unless you are 18. This is a rule. Okay. So say Boys and girls who are below 18 are forbidden to drive a car. Videography in a museum is strictly prohibited. You must have seen it's written there, in some monuments, museums and all. Videography in the museum is strictly prohibited. It's not allowed. It's forbidden. Okay, so this is prohibition, very easy to guess. Obligation. Obligation is, when something is necessary, something is must, or if it happens to be moral duty, okay, then you have obligation in such sentence. Now this is moral duty. We should obey our parents. We should obey our teachers. We should obey our elders. If you have sentences like this, then they will all go under obligation. So within bracket you will write obligation. We ought to be ashamed of his rude behavior. He ought to be ashamed of his rude behavior. This is obligation. He ought to be ashamed of his rude behavior. उसे अपने behavior पे, अपने conduct पे शर्मिंदा होना चाहिए. We ought to love our country. This is moral duty, in fact, to love our country. We ought not to abuse a beggar. Again, this is, we ought, you have ought also in such sentences, because this has something to do with morality. This has something to do with ethics. Okay, so we ought not to abuse a beggar. You should not be late. Now, this is a suggestion, but this is also obligation. You should not be late. तो late नहीं होना चाहिए. We must keep our promises. Must is there. We must keep our promises. Obligation. The members of the club shall pay their fee by the 3rd of every month. जो members हैं club के, उनको 3 तारीख, महीने की 3री तारीख तक फीस दे देनी चाहिए. Right? So this is obligation. This is compulsory, obligatory. We must obey the laws of the country. Okay, this is obligatory again. We must abide by the traffic rules. This is obligatory. Okay, we ought to do it. We must do it. We must not tell lies. This is obligatory. This is moral duty as well. We must not make a noise in the class. This again, obligatory. Students are not supposed to make a noise in the class. They're supposed to sit silent, speak only when they are allowed to or asked to. You must do as you are told. A soldier must fight for his country. This is obligatory, and this is moral duty as well. Soldiers must obey orders without question. We must stay back before they come back. We must stay back before they come back. Like parents have gone elsewhere and we are there with children. So like पड़ोसी बैठे हुए बच्चों के साथ, तो पड़ोसी कह रहे हैं कि we must stay back, हमें रुके रहना चाहिए, हमें रुकना चाहिए before they come back, जब तक कि वो आते हैं वापस. Okay, before the parents come back. Okay, you may say the students must obey their teachers. This is moral duty. We must not disrespect our parents. This again is a moral duty. We must not disrespect our parents. Okay, means we ought to respect our parents. This, in other words, means we ought to respect our parents. You must follow the orders of your boss. You ought to follow the orders. This is obligatory. When you say must, it becomes obligatory. When you say ought to, it becomes moral duty. I must reach the workplace on time. This is obligatory. Okay, this is compulsory. It means I must reach the workplace on time, or else I will be marked absent. Why? Because there is biometric, and so I must reach the workplace on time. So this is obligation. I hope this is clear. This was very easy. There was no problem with it. Okay, you can easily identify it. Shall we move on to the next slide? Okay, good. This is contrast. Contrast is the second last notion that you have. Okay, here what do you have in contrast? You have comparison. She is not so accomplished as a sister. See, not so accomplished, and so as. Now here you are so, here you are as. So what is being done? Contrast is being done. Comparison is being made. She is not so accomplished as a sister. Her face is like a book. Comparison is like a book. It's a simile. Okay, simile comparison is there. Are boys as intelligent as girls are? क्या boys इतने diligent हैं, इतनी मेहनती हैं जैसे girls हैं? तो what is there? Comparison. Okay, she is less tall than her sister. Contrast. She is less tall. देन द सिस्टर, अपनी सिस्टर से कम लंबी है. Is he as straight as I? वो क्या मेरे जैसा मोटा है या मोटी है, whatever. Okay, the speaker is saying. His new film is more entertaining than his earlier films. उसकी जो नई फिल्म है वो ज़्यादा entertaining है, ज़्यादा interesting है उसकी पहली फिल्मों की अपेक्षा. Okay, again comparison is there, contrast is there. My house is as beautiful as yours. मेरा घर तुम्हारे घर की जैसा ही सुंदर है. Okay, this is again kind of comparison between my house and your house. You are more intelligent than him. तुम उससे ज़्यादा बुद्धिमान हो, intelligent हो, okay, अक्लमंद हो, whatever. You are more intelligent than him. Our classroom is broader than your classroom. हमारा classroom broader है, wider है तुम्हारे classroom की अपेक्षा. The Shalimar Garden is as beautiful as the Nishad Garden. Okay, they are there in Kashmir, isn't it? तो जो शालीमार गार्डन है वो इतना ही खूबसूरत है जैसे कि निशाद गार्डन, अर्थात दोनों ही गार्डन खूबसूरत हैं. तो व्हाट इज बीइंग डन, कंपैरिजन इज बीइंग मेड between the two gardens, and what is the conclusion, that both gardens are equally beautiful. I'm not as generous as my grandfather. मैं अपने grandfather के जैसे उदार नहीं हूँ. Okay, this is what. I'm not as generous as my grandfather. The speaker is saying. He's thin but he's strong. वो दुबला है लेकिन बहुत strong है, लेकिन strong है, मजबूत है. Despite having a toothache, I enjoyed the film. मेरे दांत में दर्द था फिर भी मैंने फिल्म enjoy की. तो here what do you have, contrast. Contrast क्या है, Miss? Despite having a toothache, I enjoyed the film. Despite working hard, John failed the exam. मेहनत तो की थी John ने, yet he failed. So here you have comparison. He's fat but he runs fast. मोटा है but he runs fast, लेकिन बहुत तेज दौड़ता है. So again you have contrast. Okay. So this again is very easy to identify. This concept and notion, it's not a difficult thing at all. Here also you must secure 100% marks. Means you are not supposed to miss any mark. Means you're not supposed to go wrong here, because it's so easy. Here you must score 10 on 10. These are some some topics there in your syllabus which are very easy and where it is expected of you to score 100% marks. I hope you will. Okay, may you. This is the last one, concession. Concession, here you have a kind of argument here. In such sentences you have a kind of argument. Like, however hard he may try, he will not succeed. कितने भी मेहनत कर ले वो, he will not succeed. वो succeed नहीं होगा, है ना? This is said about somebody. However hard he may try, he will not succeed. Although they are sisters, they look so different from each other. Although they are sisters, they look so different from each other. Okay. So here your concession argument kind of thing. You have comparison as well. Yes, although they are sisters, if you translate, you have yadapi and tathapi kind of thing. Yadapi and tathapi kind of argument. Although they are sisters, yadapi वो बहनें, they look so different from each other. फिर भी वो एक दूसरे से बहुत अलग दिखती हैं. These type of sentences you have under concession. Come what may, we shall stay together. जो भी होगा देखा जाएगा. Come what may, जो भी होगा देखा जाएगा. We shall stay together. हम हमेशा साथ रहेंगे. Okay, we shall always stay together. Try as you will not succeed. Try as you will, तुम चाहे कितनी कोशिश कर लो, you will not succeed. तुम सफल नहीं होगे. Okay, so you have a kind of argument. Although he owns a car, he goes to his workplace by bus. उसके पास कार है फिर भी वो बस से जाता है अपने जॉब पर, वर्क प्लेस पर. No matter what she did, no one uttered a word of praise for her. No matter what she did, उसने यानी क्या क्या नहीं किया. No one uttered a word of praise. किसी ने उसके तारीफ में एक शब्द भी नहीं कहा. No matter how affluent he is, वो कितना भी मालदार है. I do not envy him. No matter how affluent, चाहे कितना भी मालदार है, rich है, I do not envy him. मैं उससे jealous नहीं होता हूँ. Okay? Much as I admire her, मैं चाहे उसकी जितनी भी तारीफ करूँ, जितना भी उसको appreciate करूँ, I cannot entirely agree with everything she does. लेकिन मैं उसकी हर चीज से तो सहमत नहीं हो सकता. Right? So you have a kind of argument. Just see, the sentences are so beautiful. If you learn these concepts and notions, as I told you right in the beginning of this video, that they improve your spoken English also. They improve your spoken skills. They improve your communication skills. So you can be a good communicator. And if you're framing sentences like this in your everyday speech, in your communication, then you're going to lay a good impression on the listeners, on the people around you. Much as I admire her, I cannot entirely agree with everything she does. These sentences are spoken in everyday life, okay, in everyday conversation. They are everyday dialogues. Much as I appreciate Shaw, I cannot rate him over Shakespeare. मैं शॉ की बहुत तारीफ करता हूँ, ओके, शॉ जो है मेरा पसंदीदा है, मैं उसकी तारीफ करता हूँ. आई कैन नॉट रेट हिम ओवर शेक्सपियर, लेकिन मैं शेक्सपियर के ऊपर तो शॉ को नहीं दे सकता. जीबी शॉ को मैं शेक्सपियर के ऊपर तो नहीं रख सकता. ओके, तो दिस इज आर्ग्यूमेंट. फॉर ऑल हर चार्म शी इज नॉट हैप्पी. बहुत खूबसूरत है वो, उसके बावजूद भी खुश नहीं है, हैप्पी नहीं है. सो दिस इज अगेन आर्ग्यूमेंट. फॉर ऑल हर वर्थ, बहुत मालदार है, शी इज नॉट कंटेंटेड, वो सेटिस्फाइड नहीं है. इतना पैसा होने के बावजूद भी जो है उसमें क्या नहीं है, संतोष नहीं है, खुशी नहीं है, सेटिस्फेक्शन नहीं है. इतना खूबसूरत होने के बावजूद भी उसमें जो है हैप्पीनेस नहीं है. So this again you have argument here. See, beautiful sentences. For all her charm she is not happy. For all her wealth she is not contented. Whatever faults she may have, infidelity is not one of them. Whatever faults, see, beautiful sentence. Whatever faults she may have, उसमें चाहे कितने भी, चाहे कुछ भी जो है फॉल्ट्स हों, कमियां हों, इनफिडेलिटी इज नॉट वन ऑफ देम. बेवफाई जो है, डिसलॉयल्टी जो है, वो उसका फॉल्ट नहीं है, अर्थात वो बेवफा नहीं है. उसमें लाख फॉल्ट्स हैं लेकिन बेवफाई नहीं है उसके अंदर. दो द गेस्ट हाउस वॉज क्राउडेड वी मैनेज टू गेट अ सूट. दो द गेस्ट हाउस वॉज क्राउडेड वी मैनेज टू गेट अ सूट. यानी जबकि बहुत ज्यादा भीड़ थी तो वी मैनेज टू गेट अ स्वीट, हमें फिर भी एक जो है रूम, एक स्वीट मिल गया गेस्ट हाउस में. आई कुड नॉट बी अनॉयड विद हर इवन इफ आई ट्राइड. चाहे मैं कितनी भी कोशिश कर लूं, मैं उससे नाराज नहीं हो सकता. आई कुड नॉट बी अनॉयड विद हर इवन इफ आई ट्राइड. ऑल्दो शी इज शेबी, शी इज मींस नॉट वेरी टाइडी. ऑल्दो शी इज शेबी शी इज एट एनी रेट गुड टू लुक एट. चाहे वो गंदी है उसके बावजूद भी वो चार्मिंग है. Okay, fascinating. This is what. Although she is shabby, she is at any rate good to look at. So these were all 15 concepts and notions that you have in your syllabus, and we have discussed them, and we have discussed them all in detail. I hope there will not be any difficulty in answering them if you get them. Okay, in your exam, you obviously will have. So wish you good luck. Hope you do well, and you secure 100% marks. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much, and take a very nice care of yourself.